Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. So I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. The podcast, the flock rundown. Ravens, baby. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
Appreciate you, Ray. What's up, Ravens fans? Welcome to another episode of the Flock Rundown. What a win. What a win. Ravens beat the Rams 37-31 in overtime. Shout out to XX Slayer XX7219. He guessed 59 yards for Keaton Mitchell, and Keaton Mitchell had 62 total yards. Was a little less involved than I thought, and a lot of you guys thought as well. A lot of the guesses were higher than that. That was one of the lowest guesses. So shout out to you. I already sent you the $50, man. Congrats. But what a win. We'll start with the dramatic ending in overtime. Tylan Wallace takes the punt back to the house. I mean, the celebration. I've watched that highlight like 10 times already. Them celebrating in the end zone, whole team running down the field, the energy in the locker room after the game. Just an incredible win. And those are the games, I know if you've been around as a Ravens fan, those are the games that we always kind of tend to lose, right? We give away a game that we should have had. We made some mistakes. Fumble, or the snap goes out of the back of the end zone for a safety. Just random stuff like that seems to happen, and then we aren't able to win those games. You know, the defense, we'll get into the details of the defense, but the defense just absolutely collapses today, and or the Rams really earned their performance, because I think that they've been playing extremely well, and they carried that over today. I mean, just a dominant performance from Stafford and Kupp and Nakua, and Williams was solid, just like we thought. So, I mean, they really showed up. McVay's game plan was incredible, and I would say that was our defense's worst performance all year. We did lose Kyle Hamilton in the game. Hopefully he's all right. I'm sure more information will come out soon about him, but Harbaugh said that he's being looked at. He came back in the game, which I think is a good sign, but then they just quickly sat him and he didn't come back in. So I don't know if that was precautionary or if that knee was like really flaring up. But praying for Kyle Hamilton and that this injury is not serious at all. But the offense won this game. Tylan Wallace won this game, really, but the offense got us there. A little inconsistent for sure, especially in that first half. Had huge plays to Isaiah Likely, big touchdown, Odell, big touchdown. But it just seemed like, other than that, we couldn't get a lot going. We weren't running well. I know Lamar ended up with like 70 yards, which is more of him just scrambling when no one was open downfield. He did an incredible job of that. I hope he continues to do that safely. And but the running game, Gus Edwards was not getting much. Keaton Mitchell wasn't used a lot. I think that he showed the biggest burst and continues to show the most explosiveness in our backfield. I don't think Gus is providing as much value as Keaton Mitchell is right now. And I love Gus. I'm not a Gus hater. I just think that Keaton's got to be the guy. He seems to have the most juice and brings the most to the table right now, and he's improving in pass protection. The line blocked pretty well today. They had a rotation with Stanley and Makari and Falele and Morgan Moses. So that was interesting to see, but I thought it worked out well. I thought like Lamar had some time. I know Donald got through a few times and disrupted things. Lamar was sacked twice, but I think one of those sacks was when he was throwing the ball away on that like last drive and clearly threw it away, was moving forward, and they were like reviewing whether it was a fumble or not, and then they ended up just saying, oh, he was sacked, but like his knee was not down. Maybe his shin hit or something. I didn't see it. I don't know, but it didn't look like his knee was down at all, so that really shouldn't be a sack. But either way, pretty clean game. Lamar did have some time, so shout out to the offensive line for the most part. Just not really for run blocking. I don't think that we didn't bring a dominant run game. We also decided to call a lot of pass plays. Lamar passed 43 times. That's a ton for our offense. That is not normal. But this game kind of called for that in certain situations because our defense couldn't stop the Rams. So therefore, the offense had to keep producing. Lamar ends up with 316 passing, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, and then added another 70 on the ground. So, I mean, big day for Lamar, big stat game for Lamar, and a huge win overall for this team. Receivers, Odell, 4 catches for 97 yards. Isaiah Likely, 5 for 83. Those were a lot due to those big touchdowns. And then Zay Flowers came up huge, 6 catches, 60 yards, and a touchdown. And that touchdown was that late game leading touchdown at the time and the 2-point conversion. Unfortunately, the Rams went right down the field and tied the game and kicked a field goal to send this thing into OT. And then when we went 3 and out in overtime, I was like, oh no, man, here we go. Like the old Ravens seem to always find a way to lose the game, and we're not doing that right now. We did that a little bit earlier. We did that against the Colts. We did that against the Steelers. We did that a lot last year and years prior. It's not something new. It's not like a recent trend that the Ravens kind of can't, muster up those muddy games and find a way to win. But we did in this one. And that means a lot because we're 10-3 atop the AFC. I know Miami plays tomorrow, but we play Miami in a few weeks. So whether their record stays the same, it doesn't matter. We play each other. Head-to-head is going to rule all. Jacksonville and Kansas City lost, so the Ravens have a 2-game lead right now. So they're sitting really good. We can still drop a game, I think, to San Francisco, so it doesn't hurt our conference record or anything like that. But if we take care of business against Jacksonville, against Miami, against Pittsburgh, we're getting a first-round bye, baby. And what an edge. Some people are like kind of rooting that we don't have the bye because we're going to come out flat. Nah, I'm good. I don't want to run into Buffalo or Cleveland in a wild card round and have a sloppy game or something. Like, I'll take the bye. Let's jump to the divisional round. Let's have the playoffs run through Baltimore, Kansas City, whoever it may be, Miami, whatever. You're coming to cold weather in Baltimore. That place is going to be rocking, and we're tough to beat. We're tough to beat at home. And I think with only needing 2 wins at that point, you get the first round bye. You just have to win the divisional and you have to win the AFC Championship, and you're in the Super Bowl. 2 wins. So finding a way to win a game like this, a rainy game, which didn't really seem like the rain affected that much. Who in the hell had 37-31 as their score prediction? I mean, it was a crazy shootout almost. And this is kind of the first game this year that felt like that. It felt like it was legit back and forth, 2 kind of great teams battling. Like, it really did feel that way. Stafford and that offense were churning on all cylinders. Stafford finished 294, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Kyron Williams, 25 carries for 114 on the ground. Cooper Kupp, 8 catches, 115 yards and a touchdown. Nakua, 5 catches, 84 yards. He had that ridiculous diving catch. Beautiful ball by Stafford. Better catch by Nakua on that last drive. I mean, hats off to the Rams in that offense. Like, they showed up to play, especially against a defense that's leading the NFL in sacks. How many sacks do we have today? 2. I think it was Matabike and Travis Jones. So everything in that game was setting us up to lose, and to be disappointed. And the offense clutched up on that last drive. And our defense stepped up when it mattered in overtime because our offense went 3 and out, and our defense had to stop them. All they needed was a field goal. I think they went 3 and out, or maybe they got 1 first down, but it was quick. And then they punt the ball back to us, and then special teams takes over. So shout out to the special teams. Justin Tucker made some field goals, and then Tylan Wallace, which is just an incredible story. This guy was fighting for a roster spot earlier in the offseason, and then he was our backup punt returner. This was not even his starting role. And Duvernay goes down, and Tylan Wallace steps in a huge moment and takes it to the crib. Insane, man. Insane. I will be watching these highlights all week. I will be enjoying this win. And we're on to Jacksonville, who's coming off 2 straight losses. We got Sunday night prime time in Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence is obviously battling that ankle. I was surprised that he played so fast. I guess it wasn't as serious as we thought. But then we got the Niners after that, who are balling. We got the Miami Dolphins after that, who are balling. And then we finish with Pittsburgh, who I think is very beatable right now. But I'm just saying our defense is going to face top-tier offense for these next 3 weeks. So we got to correct some things. We got to buckle up. But the beautiful thing is I really think we got enough weapons on offense, and we got the system, and we got the quarterback to answer these insane offensive games. You know, if the other team has an offensive explosion, we can answer. We're not as consistent as I'd like. It wasn't a complimentary, dominant performance from both sides all game long like the Detroit game or the Seattle game, but we showed up when it mattered. Lamar had to go on a game-leading drive, 80-yard drive at the end of the game, and had to score a touchdown, and he did it. So that's huge, man. It's huge in the race to the 1 seed, and we're sitting really good right now, 10-3. I'm feeling good. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. What'd you think about the game? How pumped are you? How confident are you moving forward through this home stretch of 4 games here before we got the playoffs? I'm feeling pretty confident. That was a big win. That was a win that we usually don't get, and I'm proud of the guys. I love this team. I appreciate you guys tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. As always, have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Go Ravens.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.